CNZ show.
Oh yeah. So the other documentary that we watched was about this volcano in New Zealand, and I don't remember the name of the documentary. Do you? Do you want to look it up real quick?
Was it The Island?
Yeah. So, anyways, this was in 2018 or 19.
Something like that.
I think it was 18 because it was like every 2 years, 3 years. 19. This volcano in New Zealand. So it starts out with like telling us the different storylines of the different people that visited this volcano and were involved in this crazy event that happened. And it starts out with this couple who were on their honeymoon. They went on a cruise, and one of their stops was in New Zealand, and they could pick like different excursions throughout the 7-day cruise. So the wife would pick an excursion one day, the husband would pick an excursion the next. And so it came to the husband's time, and it was this excursion to visit this active volcano on this island off the coast of New Zealand. And
smart.
Yeah.
Smart thing to do.
Very smart. So they look at the description of the excursion. They were like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's go do that. And so they, along with...
I don't think anybody actually does that when they say things. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So they...
Can you imagine if people talk like that?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think some people do.
Do they?
So they, along with maybe 80 other people, went and visited this island in 2 different groups. So it's like 40 people in one group and 40 people in the other. It is a 90-minute boat ride from
the mainland
to the island. And it is a gorgeous island. I mean, I'm not going to say that it wasn't beautiful, but when you get up to the island, they have a group that's leading you that's done this like hundreds of times. There's this one guy who's done this like since he was 18. So maybe like 15 years or something like that. He had been doing it, taking people from the mainland to the island, watching whatever. So they had, they gave them gas masks to wear and other protective PPE and protective personal equipment. And
it's a little OSHA language for you there.
A little OSHA for you. And immediately we're like, this does not look like it's going to end well at all.
Well, I got the title.
Yeah.
Rescue from Whakaari.
Whakaari is the island.
So you kind of knew going in something's going to go down.
Yeah. So as they're going, they have to like hike up to the top of the mountain, I guess, and the volcano. And there's like a lake that they call, I don't know, was it Toxic Lake or something like that?
Something like that.
It was a lake. And from the looks of it, the people that were guiding them said that it looks like there's been some activity overnight. And the lady who I said was on their honeymoon asked the guide, so how often does it erupt? Like, just curious. And they were like, well, the first time it erupted was in 2013, and then it erupted again in 2016, and this was 2019.
This documentary was in 2019.
This was December of 2019. So she started to put the pieces in, and it hadn't erupted yet. It hadn't erupted yet in 3 years. So she started to put the puzzle pieces together, and then she's like, oh shit, like, I don't feel comfortable. Like, this is not.
Get me off the volcano.
Get me off the volcano.
Who's probably on schedule.
Yes. And it wasn't 30 minutes into the visit. It's kind of a quick, like, in and out off the volcano, but still, like, people would stand and take pictures and like look at it's not a volcano that actually has lava coming out from the top. It's a volcano that pretty much has all of the lava and all of the activity kind of under the ocean, and then it just kind of,
it's like the very tip of this volcano.
Yeah, because there's a ton more underneath the ocean. So all of the lava and things that come out is just a ton of steam that actually comes out of this volcano. And I forget what type of volcano it was, but all of a sudden they were leaving, and this steam starts to come out of that lake, and pretty much people were like running for the...
It erupted. Yeah.
And this steam is so hot it
melts
doesn't...
your flesh.
Yeah. Like it goes through your clothes. Like your clothes are fine. But your flesh underneath the clothes
just boils.
Is melted. And I don't know. It was like 30, 40 people that got injured. And one group was able to escape before the eruption. And they got off back. Like a mile outside of the volcano.
Before it erupted, and they went back to help.
And then they went back to help to get the other people because they just couldn't believe what was happening.
One kid lost his whole family. Mother, father, sister.
Yeah.
And he was like, what, 16?
He was young.
He was
like
young.
17, 18.
Yeah, something like that. Very young at the time. And he had to walk away.
To go find help. Because
they couldn't move anymore.
Yeah, pretty much everybody was lying on the ground, like dying, writhing in pain, suffering.
The honeymoon couple, the main guy, got behind her, was in front of a rock, had his wife in front of him, right, shielding her body.
Yeah.
So he took a lot of it. She still got severely burned.
Yeah.
But he took a lot of it. He was really badly burned. Yeah. But it was so I highly recommend it. Go check it out. I know we just basically told you the whole thing,
but still.
But it's great to watch. But it is also
it's also like
Darwinish.
Why would you? Right.
I mean, it's also like you're hanging out on an active volcano. So I remember I had to pause it, right? Because he said something, and as soon as he said it, it was comical to me. Like sometimes these documentaries, again, I'm not trying to demean the tragedy that took place that day.
Right.
But sometimes someone will say something in it that just strikes you as funny, considering that you kind of know something's coming, right?
Yeah.
So this guy goes, well, I mean, I looked at the brochure and it seemed safe enough.
On the brochure, they actually showed us the brochure, and it basically says, active volcano, go at your own risk. So
let's, in this scenario, it's you and me, right?
Yeah.
First, I wouldn't be bringing this to you.
I would hope not.
Because I would never pick that pamphlet up and be like, yeah, sounds like a good idea, and bring it to you.
Right.
But let's say in some weird world, you brought it to me.
Mm-hmm. I'd be like, so you're saying I would do it.
Let me look at this. Oh, active volcano? No, thank you.
It would automatically be a no.
No, I'm good.
Straight.
I'm good.
Right.
So
what?
Let's say you get me past that.
Okay.
Let's say some weird, crazy thing you get me past active volcano, which are two words that would immediately say to me, not like you could freeze to death. No.
Right.
I'm not interested.
Right. Or burn to death. Nope. I'm good.
No. So you get me past that. Right. We get on the boat. We're heading out there, and they're like, it was an hour and a half ride. I'm like, dang, it's a long way.
Right.
An hour and a half.
Yeah.
From the mainland. We're on a hike. I mean, cuts, bros. So is there like a medic thing on the island?
Oh, yeah.
No, there's no medic thing. Well, why not? You can't build a medic kit or a medic station on an active volcano. Hey, can you turn this around?
Right.
Because I'm not going. So you wouldn't get me past that. So I'd immediately want to know about the safety part of it. Then you're like, so all you got is that Walmart first aid kit that they have on boats? We're going to a volcano.
Right.
Okay. All right. So that's a no for me. Right. Then we get there. And as you pull up to this 1920s concrete, broken down, rusted out, dilapidated concrete slab that you have to watch out as you're going up because there's sharp edges everywhere. And like,
the railing.
You maintain it this well? This is your level of care about how we get on the island?
Right.
Just turn this thing around.
Let's turn this thing around.
I'm not going.
Yeah.
So you somehow get me past that. We're going up. You get to the lake, and it's like the guy's like, "Well, the lake looks different today than it did yesterday." Well, what do you mean? Well, normally it's like a greenish color, but today it's white. What does that mean? Well, it means there's probably activity last night.
All right.
Last night?
Right.
Don't they have like small shocks before they have big shocks? I know enough about volcanoes to have heard something like that. Mm-hmm. Small shocks before, small shocks after. Mm-hmm. Or diminishing shocks after, right? Something like that. Let's head back. Let's get back to the boat. I'm done.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a lot of leaps of logic that happen.
I just don't understand. There's so many points in this story that 80 people or 40 people decided to go past.
Yes.
For what?
I don't know.
It's a hot rock.
Yeah. I personally probably would want to take a helicopter ride maybe over it. No?
Hour and a half from mainland on a helicopter over a volcano?
No,
I'm good.
So yeah, that's actually another good, documentary that you should probably watch.